Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban mpenzi mtazamaji, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Natumai mzima buheri wa afya. Jina langu ni Haifa Muhammad na karibu katika kipindi kipendacho Upeo Wa Asubuhi ndani ya kitengo Gumzo La Vijana. Mpenzi mtazamaji, ni furaha leo kuwa naye dada yetu ambaye ameweza kufika katika studio zetu za Mahdi TV. Si mwingine ni Harriet, na ataweza kujielezea zaidi yeye ni nani tuweze kumfahamu, na leo tukujia na mapya ambao najua wewe kama kijana nyumbani ama wewe kama mwanafunzi ambao umemaliza kidato cha 4 ama mwenye umemaliza darasa la 8, basi itakuwa rahisi wewe kwako kusikiliza awamu hii ili uweze kufaidika, na mwisho wa siku utatoka ni mtu mwenye uko na matunda mengi, na tukirudi kwake insha Allah tutaweza kufahamu mengi na mengi zaidi. Naam, karibu sana Harriet.
Asante.
Naam, karibu sana. Tungependa kufahamu kabla tuende katika swala zima letu la discussion yetu ya leo inshallah. Tunataka kufahamu wewe ni nani? Unafanya nini? Unafanya na organization gani? Na unajihusisha kunradhi na nini? Naam.
Mimi naitwa Harriet. Nimetoka kutoka organization inaitwa Jenga Lives or Peace Pulse Network. It is based in Majengo. I am an advocate and activist of SRHR and mental health.
What is SRHR?
SRHR means sexual and reproductive health and rights.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, ni vizuri sana. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Ni vizuri kuweza kufahamu. So tukielekea katika kitengo chetu leo, tulikuwa tunataka kuangazia swala zima la mentorship. What is mentorship?
Well, I would say mentorship is the state of an more experienced or an expert in something, passing down these lessons to younger and inexperienced people. Yeah.
Naam. Na tukiangalia wewe kama mentor, I believe you're a mentor. Nini iliyokupa labda ile motisha ama ari ya wewe mpaka ukasema mimi I need to do mentorship?
Unajua mentorship si kitu unakaa chini unaamua kufanya. So mostly when you are doing your work, whichever work you're doing, you will find that there are also people in that space who are doing the work that you do or who are aspiring to do the work that you do. So these are people who are looking up to you. So sometimes wanaku approach, sometimes wewe ndio unaona, you use your head as the older and more experienced person. So you approach them nicely in a kind of way. Mostly mentorship is to provide direction and guidance. Yes.
Na ni labda mentorship upande gani ambao labda kuna tofauti za mentorship?
Yes.
Huwa ziko tofauti zipi ama ni pande zipi ambazo sana watu wanafanya mentorship?
Currently mentorship mostly it happens in corporate spaces. Kazi za corporate mostly. They even have Hizi mentorship zinaitwa retreats za mentorship, which is a very good initiative, but I believe every aspect of our lives needs mentorship. Every space from faith, our different faiths, school, work, even hobbies, everything needs mentorship. So according to me, every aspect of our lives needs mentorship, and sometimes mentors are not strangers. Mentors can be our mothers, mentors can be our fathers, our siblings, our friends, our aunts, people in our families, people close to us. Yes.
Tukianza na hapo, who is your mentor?
Well, I would say I have always looked up to my mother. She has not been an official mentor, but yeye ndiye amekuwa the first mentor I ever had. She's very business savvy, very anafuata pesa kwenye inaenda. Sasa I think I took that from her. Hata mimi nafuata hizi pesa sana. So I would say she has been my most consistent mentor till date. Yeah.
So vile umeangalia kwa mama kwa ni mentor, what are the qualities of a mentor? Or what are the qualities of someone who wants to be a mentor?
Well, qualities of a mentor, first of all, you have to be empathetic as a mentor. You have to be able to understand and put yourself in this person's shoe. Because for example, if let's say we are working in hospital and I am an intern, you see, of course I will have a more experienced person, doctor, mwenye ataweza kuniguide pale ndani, mwenye nitakuwa nikiuliza maswali yangu. If I have any concerns, I will direct to him. But now you cannot choose a person who is harsh to you. You cannot choose a person who does not understand your perspective. So as a mentor, first of all, you have to be empathetic. First of all, it is the most basic thing. Secondly, you have to be knowing what you're mentoring. You cannot go into this field of mentorship and not know what is required of you. So first of all, you have to have that experience in that work so that you can be able to give people who are looking up to you a clear guideline on what they should do. Kwa sababu sasa uwezi enda bila knowledge kuambia watu hivi ndo mnafaa kufanya. Mambo yataharibika. So you have to be experienced yourself before you can mentor others. Yeah. You also have to have good problem solving, decision making skills. There's also coaching skills kama feedback, questioning, observation, because in your process of coaching, you also need feedback from the other person. You need to know that what we're doing, we're on the same page, we're doing the same thing. Yeah, there's also personal qualities kama vile integrity, commitment, humility, because you as now the older, more experienced person, how are you handling your juniors? How are you handling people who are below you?
Yes.
You see. So you have to be led by such qualities. Yes.
You've talked about problem solving.
Yes.
So mtu tuseme kama you as a mentor na yule mentee amekuja labda kuna tatizo. So how do you develop the art of problem solving?
Well, I would say the art of problem solving will be born through your experience in the job that you have been doing for all the years that you have been doing. Kama tukienda interviews, tunaulizwa, what skills do you have? So lazima uandike pale problem solving. So to be able to have problem solving skills, you have to identify problems first of all, because you cannot solve things that are not there.
Really?
So you have to be able to identify problems. So identifying problems means that you can be able to see a situation heading the wrong way, but unaikata katikati kabla gari haijaanguka, unashikilia brakes mapema. So that is all that is problem solving. So even if the people you're mentoring, they're called mentees. The people you're mentoring, even if they have a problem. So mentorship means delegation. You cannot solve their problems for them.
Kweli.
Yeah. So you have to offer them a way forward on how they can tackle their own problem. Kwa sababu you as a mentor, you have to draw boundaries. Yeah. Maisha yenu isingiliane sana because you also have a life of your own. There needs to be those boundaries. So even in that aspect of problem solving, there's the aspect of boundaries. So the only thing that you can be able to do is probably give them what you think might be able to help this situation. Haufai kusolve problems za watu wengine, yeah, unless it is your responsibility. So there's that aspect of mentorship. There's that aspect of this is my boss. So kuna tofauti. Iyo tofauti ni boundaries. So if this is your boss, probably it is his job to solve this issue. But if it is not your boss, this is just a mentor, it is your job to solve this issue, but also with the guidance of this mentor. So a mentor is not supposed to solve your problems. Yeah.
Na tuseme labda umekaa you have a mentee.
Yeah.
And you yourself, you are a mentor.
Yeah.
What example do you portray to that mentee? In as much as you won't be acting in a bossy way, kama yani kuna vile labda kujiona wewe uko juu zaidi yule mentee. How can one maintain that? Kwa sababu naamini yule mentee in order umpe ile environment ya kwamba yeye anapaswa ile kujua kwamba huyu ani control like ni boss wangu. I feel like it's a safe space for that person. Mtu anaweza fanya nini?
Well, in my experience, there's the issue of gender when we're looking at safety and such issues as mentorship. We cannot ignore that. So as a woman myself, I always prefer to have women mentors, especially if I know I will be close to them for a long span of time. Yani ni kazi tutafanya kwa muda mrefu. So I need their guidance over a span of time. And maybe through this process, you can end up being friends, you see. It is possible with mentorship that you can be friends now. That you can, mnaweza toka hapo kwa mentorship, you enter into other circles, tuseme maybe mnaweza enda club pamoja, maybe to take polite drinks, or you can go to a hotel together to have food and catch up and talk, you know. So for me, those are the precautions I usually take. But there's also the aspect of these personal qualities I have talked about. Mimi kama mentor, the steps I would take are having empathy and humility at the forefront. Yeah, so that nisijisikie hata kama mimi ni a senior in this position, we are still human beings.
Kweli.
All of us, all of us. Na hata mimi nilianzia pale because all of us have small beginnings. Hakuna mtu alifika pale juu bila kuanzia hapa chini. So in that aspect of putting humility and empathy forward, you can be able to work with anyone. Hiyo ndo teamwork sasa. You can be able to work with juniors, with people of the same caliber as you, with seniors even. You can be able to work with anyone and the results will be seen. Because now you can be able to, you know, una delegate kazi vizuri, mtu hafeel ni kama amefinyika kwa kona just because they're looking up to you. So I think we should be led by values such as humility, integrity, empathy as a mentor. Yeah.
So how do you explain empathy when we differentiate it from sympathy? Because I think they are two different words.
Yeah.
And people tend to confuse them.
Confuse the two.
Sasa ni vitu viwili ambavyo ni tofauti.
Yeah.
Unaweza tofautisha sympathy na empathy.
Well, ningetumia dictionary lakini wacha nijaribu kuidefine kwa loose language. So I think empathy is just trying to understand and putting yourself in this person's shoe, basically loosely explained. Because I have said as a mentor, you're not supposed to solve your mentee's problem. You're only supposed to give them guidance on how to tackle their problem. That is empathy. Sympathy ni, utadu,
Pity.
Utadu, ninakuhurumia, nataka nikusaidie, wacha tufanye hivi, nakufanyia hivi, nimekusaidia. So it is me imposing myself in the middle of your situation. I am led by my pity to give you answers that come from me. Those solutions are not coming from you. I don't understand your problem, first of all. Nimeruka tu in kukupea solution, kukuhurumia. So sympathy can go either way. Nitatatua tatizo lako ama sitatatua, tutachia tu hapo kwa uoye. Kama ile aki sina rent, sasa mtu anakuambia yes, sasa utadu, that is sympathy. But empathy is, what happened? What might I do to help as your friend, as your mentor? That is empathy. Sympathy ni ile, guy, so utadu, your story imeisha hapo. But if you can be able to, you know, understand the situation critically and give them good feedback that will help them to tackle their situation, that is empathy.
Nachiki, let's talk about self-reflection. How does self-reflection play a role in mentorship?
Self-reflection. Self-reflection inaanza kwa self-awareness. You cannot reflect if you're not aware on what you're reflecting about. As human beings, we have so much going on in our lives at every point in time. Whether we are at school, whether we are working, whether we are doing chochote. Tuko na vitu mingi. So when you're self-reflecting, you cannot reflect on every aspect of your life at the same time. You can only take points. At whichever point in life you are, you have to be aware that there's something that I need to check and probably improve in my life. So it is just maybe one or two aspects at a given time. So self-awareness. Self-awareness, kujijua, kujielewa, which leads to self-reflection, which leads to self-acceptance. Yeah. So kujitambua, kujielewa, you start asking yourself, who am I like this? Why am I doing this? Why am I thinking like this? Why am I making these choices? Because probably these choices are harming your life.
Really?
Yeah. Probably you're using too many drugs. Probably you're not studying as much, you know. So you have to start asking yourself, why is this happening? So you have to reflect at that point in your life, that point that is not giving you results. So after reflect, umejiuliza zile maswali. In other terms, we call it self-introspection. You introspect yourself. You ask yourself questions, and then now finally you decide what you want to do. So from asking yourself questions to now answering those questions by yourself. This is not a one-day process. Si kitu itachukua 30 minutes. It is a process that is continuous.
Ndiyo.
That should be continuing throughout your life. You should be improving your life systematically in small bits. So I think that is what self-reflection is. Ile kujiuliza maswali. But it also comes from a point of self-awareness, which should lead to self-acceptance.
Naam, asante sana Harriet kwa kutufikishia katika hii awamu ya kwanza. Itabidi tuchukue mapumziko, tukirudi tutaendelea zaidi, but tumeelezea vizuri kuhusiana na mentorship, kwa sababu naamini kuna youth pale nje ambao anataka kuelewa zaidi kuhusiana na mentorship. Shukran sana.
Asante.
Kurudi kwako mpenzi mtazamaji, natumai katika awamu ya kwanza tukiwa na dada yetu Harriet ameweza kutuelezea nini maana ya mentorship, na ameweza pia kutupa guidelines pia katika mentorship. Ama wewe as a mentor, kwa sababu naamini wewe kama kijana ule wako nyumbani ambao unataka kuongoza jamii, wanakuambia vijana ndio viongozi wa kesho. Wewe kama kijana kuna vitu ambavyo unataka kuimplement katika society, inaanza na wewe binafsi kunradhi. Mpenzi mtazamaji, acha tuchukue mapumziko, tutakaporudi Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu tena katika awamu ya pili ya kipindi kipendacho Upeo Wa Asubuhi ndani ya kitengo Gumzo La Vijana. Mpenzi mtazamaji, katika awamu ya kwanza tumeweza kugusia what is mentorship, na tumeweza kufahamu mengi na mengi zaidi. Tumefahamu self acceptance ni nini, tumefahamu self realization ni nini, ambao pia ataweza kuelezea zaidi, maana ametuelezea kwamba after self acceptance ama self awareness kuna stages ambazo utafanya mpaka ufike kwa hiyo self realization inshallah. So kurudi kwake tuweza kufahamu mengi na mengi zaidi. Tukirudi kwako Harriet, karibu tena.
Asante.
Naam, tukielekea zaidi, ulikuwa unazidi kutuelezea kuhusiana na vile mtu atafika mpaka ile self realization, maana mtu kujifahamu ni muhimu. Haswa kama vijana wa sasa hivi wengi utakuta mentorship ndio kitu ambacho kinafaa kuwakuza. Naam.
From self-awareness, kujielewa, kujitambua, to self-introspection, self-reflection, to self-awareness and self-realization. So hizi stages zote, they are very self-explanatory, if I might say. So the most important thing is to realize that as human beings, we are not perfect. Yeah, usikue mkali kwako. Yeah, hata ukijiuliza hizo maswali, you ask yourself, why is this not working the way I want it to work? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, sometimes it is not your fault. You're limited. Yeah, so kuna vitu ambavyo huwezi badilisha about yourself. There are things you cannot change about yourself. Things like the way you look, you cannot change that about yourself. Hiyo ni kazi ya Mungu, huwezi badilisha. Yeah, so these are hapa ndio self acceptance inaingilia bila kujiuliza hizo maswali zote. Yeah, when it comes to how you look, just accept how you look. Yeah, God knew, alikuwa anajua anafanya nini. You are as beautiful as the next person.
So what do you say about these people who love changing maybe their color and they want maybe mtu anataka mweupe kwa sababu like kuna ile downgrading ama self esteem, it's like imeshuka, hajiamini. Unaweza mfanya mtu vipi ajiamini?
Well, like I said, as a mentor, haufai kusolve shida za mtu. So I cannot advise anyone to solve problems that are not there. Kujilaitenisha is solving a problem that is not there, according to me, because that is how I feel. I feel that we are free to do whatever we want, but we are not free from the consequences of our actions.
True.
Yes. So you are free to do whatever we want. It's a very liberal world. But the consequences will catch up sooner or later. So in this case, there are health consequences to changing how you look. There are health consequences, there are spiritual consequences, there are mental consequences. Vitu ni vingi. So in about your body, you should not ask yourself, why do I look like this? Why? How? Nothing. Oga. Siri ni kuoga na kukunywa maji. That is it. That is the thing. Just shower nicely. Drink your water. Eat nicely. Most importantly, affirm yourself. There is no one who would affirm you if you do not affirm yourself.
True.
Yeah? Because by the way you treat yourself, you teach people on how to treat you. You are the guidebook to treating yourself. So vile unajibeba, vile unajiona, ndivyo watu wengine watakuona. So even if you have low self-esteem, it happens to all of us at any point in our lives. At some point we suffer low self-esteem. The most important thing is to remember who you are and to still treat yourself with love, with empathy and respect for your own self, even if your esteem is down there, so that people will know this is how you constantly treat yourself. They will not know that your esteem is not up. Affirm yourself. You're the only important person in your life. The first and foremost important person in your life.
They say you are the CEO of your life.
Yes, please simama mbele ya kioo, angalia vile unakaa poa, you know, just affirm yourself. Even if pimples zinakusumbua, just say you're still beautiful, even if you're working on the pimples, because you know how you look like without the pimples. Yeah? Sisi tutakubeba vile wewe unajibeba.
True.
Yeah, that is it.
Hiyo imenikumbusha kwamba kwa sababu I'm dealing with mentorship also, kwa sababu kitu ambacho napenda.
Yes.
Na wakati tuko katika ile training ya mentorship, unapoa kioo jiangalie. So they just ask you, what part of your body do you love? Or what part of your body do you hate? So it's like they're teaching you the art of self acceptance. Kujikubali wewe mwenyewe. And like everyone is unique kivyake, ama mtu kila mtu atapendwa vile kivyake vile alivyo. That's why wanakwambia self acceptance ni nzuri. Asante sana. So let's look at the importance of mentorship. Because I believe ni kitu ambacho katika jamii watu wanakihitajia. Haswa let's say people now, or haswa vijana wa sasa hivi wana indulge sana in concerning things na drugs. Mtu anaona like maisha yangu mimi pale imefikia, I can't. So what is the importance of mentorship in the society?
Well, as society stands right now, people are at a dark place. I don't think I would blame anyone for how they choose to handle their stresses in their lives, unless they are minor. Minors are not supposed to do certain things because they cannot consent. They do not have the choice of consenting. So mentorship is important first and foremost in this, our current society, because it brings hope. That someone somewhere is willing to work with me. You know, it's rare to find that. Because the way society is designed nowadays, watu wana glorify individualism. Ni mimi, ni vitu zangu, ni mimi, na familia yangu, ni mimi, sijui na nini zangu. Like the individualism in us right now is so strong, is so high. So mentorship is there to remind us that there is hope in humanity, that we can still hold each other's hand, but apart from that, there's also the fact that it offers guidance and support to people who might have had a harder time finding their way on their own. Tuseme, for example, I work in the civic space. Ukiingia hii space as a 19-year-old, there's nothing you know. There's nothing you know. And then there are people who've been in this space for 30 plus years. They know everything. Yeah. So imagine if you want to find your way on your own in the civic space, utaanzia wapi? Where will you start? But if this older lady or this older gentleman who's been in this space for 26 years, ako na organization yake, if he takes your hand and tells you, I have seen your passion, I have seen your commitment to working for the community, organization yangu ndio hii, would you like to work with us? So that you can start there. So from that, it also elevates your career. Yeah, it is career progression. So mentorship is also important for that. Apart from the guidance, it also offers you career elevation, because a mentor will not want you kutembea kwa giza. When people guide you, they give you light. They show you this is where you are supposed to go. This is how you're supposed to go. So kama akiwa mtu mzuri, atakuleta kwa ile organization yake, akuulize, what are your skills? What are you good at? So that they place you where you're good at, so that you can thrive on your own. So CV meongeza, umepata kamshahara, you see, very simple. There's also the fact of skill development, because now they capacity build you as your mentors. They offer you tips that other people of your level may not know, because wao wako na more experience in that work. So they offer you things that will help you in your work. So these are skills they're building in you, skills that they have honed for years themselves. So wanakwambia wewe, so unaipata rahisi. You do not have to struggle. There's also the fact of confidence building, so that you see now, if I am a 19-year-old girl and I have gone to this organization because my mentor took me here. Akaniambia kuna rafiki yangu akona organization, they can use your skills. I will become confident in my skills because I know someone else has seen them and they have been confident to even refer me to their other friend or colleague. So now I can believe in myself. You see, I can be able to wake up in the morning knowing someone somewhere is seeing my work, is seeing my work. Yeah. There's also the fact of cultural understanding, because hii dunia ni kubwa. Unaweza pata mentor wako is not from your village, not from your tribe, not from your country. Yeah. So what happens then? You get to understand each other better. You get to understand their culture, maybe their music. They get to understand yours. So you get exposure even. So assuming mentor wangu ni mzungu, akiniambia stories huko kwao vile wao wanaishi na mimi nimwambia huko kwetu, we have got information about places we have never been to. Yeah. So all of that.
That's good. Now, what about confidence?
Yeah.
How can we explain confidence in terms of importance of mentorship?
Sijui nitaitranslate aje kwa Kiswahili. Kujiaminia. Yeah, believing in yourself, in your worth and in your work. So let me give an example. There's also the fact that mentorship might not go high. Si lazima iende ati ni mtu mkubwa ama mtu a senior person.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes a mentor can be someone who's junior than you, maybe in years, but they know some things that you might not know. Yeah. So for example, me and my boyfriend have been having this discussion about money. He's a tax consultant. So sometimes people ask him to do tax-related jobs for them. Si kazi yake, ni kazi yenye mtu amempigia simu akamwambia unaweza nisort hapa na hapa. So because he has these skills, he's been in the industry for so long, he does not think it's something that is important. So hata unapata itishi pesa. So akimaliza kazi anatumia yule mjamaa tax compliance certificate ama whatever they were asking, and then that guy sends 200. Thank you for doing this. So if you go to ask this work, someone else is doing the same work and they're charging highly for it because they know the importance of their work. Yeah, they've taken years to build those skills. Hata kama saya naifanya na 3 minutes, it's taken them so much time. Walienda shule kusoma hiyo vitu. Yeah. And these are people who are still going to class up to now to hone these skills na hataki kulipwa because of his skills. So me, I told him, if you keep doing this, people will know to recognize the importance of your work. Yeah. You need to charge for your work fairly. Fairly means you charge the rates that means something to you, that appreciate your work as other people are doing. So he started doing that. And now he's not taking work that does not have payment. You see, now that breeds respect for your work. Watu hawataangalilia kazi yako huko chini. People will learn to know that when they want to approach you, they approach you a certain way. That is what confidence is. So in whichever aspect of your life, you should be able to jiaminia yourself so much so that mtu anafikiria twice before ku approach. Yeah? People should treat you with respect. That is the beauty of confidence. Confidence does not come from material things. Confidence comes from inside of us. It does not matter what you're wearing, how much money you have, what kind of phone you have, how much education you have. It doesn't matter. By the virtue of you being a human being, that you exist on earth, you're supposed to be confident. You exist and that is enough. Yeah? So the confidence should come from yourself, from self-acceptance. Unafaa kujikubali, ndio ujipende, ndio ujiaminie. Yeah? So when you have mastered all of that, hata kama una feel IQ yako iko huko chini, no one can tell you anything because you treat yourself with so much love, so much respect that people do not have a choice except to treat you like that.
Okay, asante sana. Na tukiangalia upande huu wa mentees, you know, most of mentees have that mindset of kwamba the mentorship ambao mimi napelekwa mahali, I'll earn something. Yeah? They have that kwamba mtu haangalii like mentorship in the aspect ya kwamba mimi hii mentorship ni ya kunisaidia mimi personally or kunifanya mimi nikue. How do you go about that?
I would say that let us not be led by money. Especially in the civic space, huku kuna shege. the way NGOs work, they give you money after the work, and sometimes it's months after you have already, hata ulikuwa ushasahau hiyo pesa. So I think when you're led by a passion, when you're led by ambition, the issue of money will not be there. So you are able to appreciate the people who take their time to offer you guidance. Unajua sometimes mtu ni kujitolea anajitolea. Because you as a mentee, or me as a mentee, because hata mimi I'm looking up to people for guidance. Nikiweka pesa mbele, no one would want to work with me. You get? True. But if I put forward the notion that I am here to learn skills that will better my life, na huyo mtu amejitolea kuniongoza, kunionyesha njia. I think we should be able to appreciate people out of money. You see, tuweke pesa kando so that we appreciate people's roles in our lives outside of the money. Because if we look at the money, we will miss the skills they give us, we will miss the time they spend with us, we will miss the resources they share with us, we will miss the connections they give us. Unaangalia tu pesa, you will not gain much if you look at money, because money will always be there, but good people will not always be there.
Thank you so much. So when you wind up, tuambie, what are the challenges that are in mentorship?
Well, that issue of money. Like I said, now we are a hopeless society. So most of my age mates, most youth nowadays, tume lose hope. So unapata we do not even have that drive to do anything. Hatutaki kuamka morning tuende kusaka job, or because we're discouraged. Because hata mimi najituma sana, but sometimes I'm just in bed, I'm like, what is the point of doing any of this? You have applied to so many jobs that now receive hizo za we regret to inform you hadi umechoka. So even if at some point you see that advert of we are hiring, you are not bothering. Umefika mwisho. I think that is where most of my generation is at this moment. So that is a challenge for mentorship mostly, because now you cannot push someone who does not want to push themselves.
True.
Yeah? You cannot force someone who is at a bad place. Unajua, we cannot blame it on laziness. It is a very hostile environment out here, especially money-wise. We cannot blame it on laziness. We have hustled hadi tumechoka. Businesses are closing. So I would say that one challenge of mentorship is that lack of drive in everyone. Because as a mentor, you can have the drive kwa sababu wewe already uko kwa hiyo field. So hata ukikosa job, unajua you have many connections that can easily give you a job right in the moment. Hautangoja sana. But sisi young people, we do not have that. So I think to be able to address these challenges, we'll also have to address the issue of mental health. Because when you don't have money, your mental health is not okay. So if my generation does not have money, we are not okay. So we should address the issue of our failing mental health collectively before now we can go to addressing the challenges of mentorship.
Thank you so much, Harriet. Asante sana. Umeweza kutuelezea vizuri, umeweza kutoa hiyo guidance vizuri. Na natumai mpenzi mtazamaji ama kijana ambaye yuko kule mtaani na ako dormant ajue nini cha kufanya, itakuwa rahisi kwake kujua the meaning ama kitu ambacho mentorship kinamletea katika maisha yake. Asante sana. Kurudi kwako mpenzi mtazamaji, natumai katika awamu ya pili tukiwa na dada yetu Harriet umeweza kufahamu mengi na mengi zaidi kuhusiana na mentorship. Mimi kiukweli ni kitu ambacho ninachopenda sana, ninachobobea sana, ni passion yangu kukuona wewe kama kijana ukiwa katika njia mwafaka wa kukuongoza katika maisha. Mpenzi mtazamaji, sina mengi ya kusema isipokuwa